contested match. Sri Lanka coming back yesterday with a great result against Uzbekistan, 39-0. And Guam getting their first try of the day, also against Singapore. Day yesterday for Sri Lanka, straight from the kickoff, running 60 metres. And one of the greatest tries I've seen in women's sevens. Number 3, Sandika Hemakumari, who I think might be injured now and not on the roster. She was a real weapon. And Guam, they struggled to get going, but led by their captain, number 1, Olivier Flores, with the ball in hand right now. They'll be looking to get a few more tries on their side of the ledger. Here we go then. Plate semi-final 2. It's Guam starting out full of intent. Legal turnover there. Penalty for Guam, who are keen to go quick. Getting the big fend going is Boya. Another penalty coming Guam's way as they're working their way. That was a tap and a kick. I think just, are they going to be sympathetic here? No, she's tapped it and kicked it out. She's made a little error there, so it's going to be a Singapore line-out throw. Line-out's been operating good for Sri Lanka, straight off the top, and they give it some air straight away. Try and get out their danger runners, Dulani, and here she goes. Look at the gas on Dulani. Is Perez Tyson going to catch her? No, she gives up. And look at that, from 65, 70 metres out. Dulani opens the account today for Sri Lanka.
Well, it's a feature of the Sri Lankan teams. Physically, they look a little bit outmatched until they open up with their pace, and then they go like the wind. So, Sri Lankan athletes, beautifully balanced runners, and they've got pace to burn. Just a hint of it there from Sri Lanka. Plus the 2 shows that Guam are going to have to keep the field well covered if they're going to stay anywhere near the Sri Lankan outfit. Half a gap and they'll be gone. Look at it now. Just opens the throttle, and up until about there might have been putting in an effort, and from here on in flows through beautifully.
Very positive, aggressive take from the restart, but took her teammates by surprise. And here goes Dasuni De Silva. She gets chopped down about 10 metres short. Plain advantages. Olivia Flores tries to bring it out from her own line. The Sri Lankans are hungry at the breakdown, working like pods. Big defence coming in, this time on Perez Tyson. Stray boot there, threatened to lose control of the ball. This is Joyce Borja. Defence has also been a hallmark of the Sri Lankans, and they're working very hard and earn themselves a penalty. They're eager to go though. Ayesha, number 5, Ayesha Pereira. Try scorer Dulani sizes things up, decides against it. That's a sign of maturity. Landika Kumadamari. And the gap opens up for Ayesha Kularachi. She's knocked it on, and possession seesawing between the two sides, and we'll come back for a scrum.
Well, good defence from Guam. I think the first time we saw these, a lot of these ladies play might have been the Olympic qualifier at the stadium in Hong Kong last year, and they certainly have come a long way since there. That was some good patience and defence by Guam, and they just managed to keep their shape, force the error out of Sri Lanka. They were putting the effort in now. They're at the right end of the field. Guam will be looking to use their physicality here to punch their way out of their own quarter.
It's bobbled at the back, and defensive bomb goes up, and a cruel bounce for the chasers, coming back into the hands of Tilaje. And a bit of a head-high shot there. You're right about Sri Lankan rugby, Jed. The women have improved untold since we watched them on the series last year, playing very aggressive rugby. And Guam, well, they're without their coach Willie Hedeteka, who's a bit ill, couldn't make the trip up this time from New Zealand. But I was reading that they do good old-fashioned fundraising, like car washes, raffles, things like that. They have to fund themselves wherever they go. Good, honest fundraising. It's great having both these sides here. Great that they're able to travel to these tournaments. And here comes Sri Lanka again. The good skills in the hands, and this is Anusha coming back on the inside. It's Dulani. Gets clobbered from behind and driven to the ground. Dulani again. She's hungry today. It's all over the place, though. It's not much shape at the moment, but it's been pilfered once again. It's seesawing between the sides here. Flopping over the top goes Kitigua. And eventually, sloppy passage of play ends in a penalty.
It's a real arm wrestle out there at the moment. These teams are just skirting around, just trying to find a bit of dominance. It's a great defensive play there from Perez Thiessen early on, making 2 tackles, hitting the ball up strongly through the middle before turning it over. So, you know, Sri Lanka back on the attack. See how well this set piece works now for Sri Lanka.
The horn is blown. Last chance, last roll of the dice in this first half. Perez Thiessen comes out of the line, makes a crucial tackle. Dulani back to Nadika Munasinghe, and straightening up nicely as Ayesha Pereira, and off the left foot, bang she goes under the post and gets an important score right on half-time.
Well, heartbreaking for Guam, I would think that one. That is a beautifully worked try. Just stepping almost nonchalantly off her left foot, opening up the Guam defence right at the stroke of half-time. Sri Lanka, it's a good time to score, and certainly all that effort they've been putting in this half has paid a dividend. Conversion missed. They go to the break. Sri Lanka leading Guam 12-0. So look at this. Ball in both hands. Shows it to the fence, and then just basically is overrun from the inside out. Good deceptive run for Sri Lanka, and rightfully they should lead.
Just getting on the inside there of number 8, Aria Perez Thiessen. Many strings to her bow. She's represented Guam as Miss Guam in Miss World. Biology student. A lot of these Guam players still in high school, college, very young. just 23 players registered, female players in Guam. So we're looking at half of them here. There they are. Here's Coach Dean Kayo without his wingman this year. If you're watching, Willie, we hope you're well. Winner of this take on Singapore in the 5th and 6th playoff later today. The loser will play Uzbekistan for 7th and 8th. Tigua gets us underway again in the second half. Game 2 on day 2 of the first leg of the Asia Rugby Sevens Series. Going in hard was number 8. That's Perez Tyson again. A lot of straight up the middle stuff in this game from both sides before Ayesha Pereira tries to get on the outside. Can they work some space for the Kulani says, let's just kick it ahead. Ayesha Kulawachi, good retake. Can she feed the ball up? She's on the 10-meter now. Going into bridge, Nadika Munasinge. This is Randika Kumutamali. She gets taken in a higher one by Flourish, throws her to the ground, shrugs her off. Perez Tyson takes her down. Good hands at her feet. Here they come now. Surely they can finish this off. Galloping in, Dasuni De Silva brings it round under the posts. And after about a minute of the second half, Sri Lanka score their 3rd try.
Well, just kept their cool, Sri Lanka, and let the ball do the work, but big long gate of the Sri Lankan try scorer, Tomadura. Runs in unopposed. Score here, try. Conversion successful. Sri Lanka through to 19 points to 0. And a score before half-time and a score directly after half-time, and a 19-point lead. You would have to say all the ingredients are certainly there, Grant, for a potential Sri Lankan victory.
Yeah, they'll be hard to chase down from here. Guam, only one taste of blood for a try yesterday. Just haven't quite got the experience and the drill work. They haven't been drilled like these Sri Lankans. Breakdown work is superior again. Commendable. Guam relying more on their just strength and size to bash it. And there we see Jiwani. She goes straight through the middle, gets the arms free, looks for a support. There's no one there, and Guam have slowed that down. Looks like they'll be penalised. Yep, from the side, taken quickly by Anusha. No invitation needed. Under the post for try number 4. They turn defence into attack once again. Sri Lanka do look sharp.
Right, they probably made the point earlier, Grant. So you're right, the relative physical sizes of the teams have sort of dictated the way they want to play, but it's Sri Lanka, I think, are more predisposed to keeping the effort going. You've got the edge in terms of conditioning. As you look, a fairly simple play, just catching Guam totally unaware. quick tap and go. And if you're playing the game fit, and they're fast and they're light.
And they like talking. Listen to the chatter down there. Huge communication. Flores takes it in the chest and she sets off, but runs out of room. Takes on the smaller Aisha Pereira, gets bundled out. It's a great tackle coming through. Piper barreling her back to the halfway line. Up to see Guam get the hold of the ball and get something going, but that's a forward pass. It's allowed to go by the officials, but Flores needs a little bit better there to stay in field. Trying to do too much on her own, maybe. Not seen enough ball, probably frustrated.
See the interesting contrast of styles, Guam and Sri Lanka. That's Fiji about Sri Lanka. Strains of the Pacific Islands about Guam. Strange what the surrounding water does to a rugby nation.
Couple of subs for each side.
On again, off again, on again routine.
Okay.
I think we've all been there.
Are you off? No, you're off.
Hey.
Am I off?
Short straws have been drawn. Someone has to go. We're down to 6. We're looking for a 7th. They scan the crowd.
You've got some Guam in you.
Anybody at all. Anyone. You'll do.
Amanda Cruz has just come on and she's come off again after a 1-minute cameo. Underarm style it goes from Kutuagua. To straighten up here. This is Aria Perez Tyson. Good spin and go. Twice out of with a spin and go, and that's a good run. Good go forward for Guam. But once again, the Sri Lankans are there, straight on the ball, and Guam can only offend. Look at this. Away comes Sanjiwani. They no hesitation from the Sri Lankans. They know where the space is and they want to go there quick.
Well, tremendous shots here by the camera team. Look at that. Desperation from the Guam defender. Manages to get a handful of shirt and that'll do.
Came back well. We're in the final minute now. It's 5-0. Comprehensive by Sri Lanka. They'll be going forward to face Singapore for 5th and 6th spot. Flying high goes Piper. She unleashes the back line, but a no-look pass there wasn't necessary. Here she goes again. She's been good. Tyson. Tackler not at least. But when it breaks down, the Sri Lankans are there, getting busy. So they've opted for the kick, but they'll have a last chance. Will Guam to get on the board at least? They're very, very deep, the Guam back line. A lot of running to do. Again, very lateral. Someone's got to straighten up here. Unless she's going to run right around the outside. Charani clobbers her and eventually it goes forward. Just a little bit too lateral. The referee says, that'll do us actually. I'm happy with that. Sri Lanka 26. Showing, building some good form throughout this tournament, finding their legs. And Guam, well, back to the drawing board, you might say. They've been zeroed again, and they'll face Uzbekistan in the battle for the wooden spoon, 7th and 8th. 26-0.